members of the subcommittee.
Be sure you're right into that microphone.
Thank you for allowing the NTSB to testify before you this morning. As you mentioned, accompanying me this morning is Ms. Dana Schultz, who is the acting director of the NTSB's Office of Aviation Safety. As you are well aware, during a recent 5-month period, there have been 2 crashes involving the 737 MAX. Tragically, these 2 crashes have claimed 346 lives. And I say this next statement with all sincerity, it's not a cliche, but our thoughts and prayers go to the families of those victims. Now, unlike the NTSB's involvement in domestic aviation accidents, where we have a statutory responsibility to investigate every civil aviation accident that occurs within the U.S., our involvement with international investigations is vastly different. The NTSB's role in accident investigations in accidents that occur outside of the United States is governed by Annex 13 to the Convention on International Civil Aviation, to which 193 countries, including the U.S., are signatories. Annex 13 states that a safety investigation be led in the country in which the accident occurs, known as the state of occurrence. Thus, the KNKT of Indonesia is leading the investigation into last year's Lion Air crash. And likewise, the Ethiopian Accident Investigation Bureau is leading the investigation into the Ethiopian Airlines crash. When the accident involves a U.S. operated or registered aircraft, or U.S. designed or manufactured aircraft, as these aircraft were, the NTSB appoints an accredited representative. This is a highly skilled NTSB investigator whose purpose is to coordinate the input of all U.S. interests, including NTSB, FAA, and U.S. companies such as the manufacturers and others that can provide technical expertise. It's important to note that the state of occurrence leads the investigation and controls the release of public information from that accident investigation, not the NTSB. Now, that said, NTSB participation in foreign accident investigations enables access to investigative data and information needed by the FAA, the manufacturer, or the operator to address safety deficiencies, as well as by the NTSB, so we can issue safety recommendations when necessary. We work closely with the involved accident investigation authorities to ensure that we receive the information we need to sufficiently address safety deficiencies. Following last year's Lion Air crash, we immediately dispatched investigators to Indonesia to participate in the Indonesian government's investigation. An NTSB investigator was stationed on board one of the search vessels to help identify recovered aircraft components. And once the cockpit voice recorder was recovered in January, we recalled 4 investigators who were furloughed during the partial government shutdown. Their role was to assist with the recorder download and analysis. We responded immediately to the Ethiopian Airlines crash by sending a team of investigators to Ethiopia. And once the recorders were sent to our aviation counterparts in France, the BEA, we dispatched investigators to France to assist with the recorder download and readout. Within 30 days of each crash, the Indonesian and Ethiopian authorities issued a preliminary report regarding their respective investigations. NTSB provided technical comments for each of these reports. Last week, Ms. Schultz traveled to Addis to meet with Ethiopian officials regarding the investigation. And in the coming weeks, the U.S. team will return to Ethiopia to work further with those authorities. Because the U.S. is the state of design and certification of the 737, we are also examining the design certification process as a part of our participation in these foreign-led investigations. Our review is continuing, and if we uncover safety deficiencies, we are prepared to quickly issue safety recommendations aimed at correcting such deficiencies. Our commitment to the traveling public, and especially to those families affected by these 2 tragic events, is to bring all of our experience and expertise in support of the international effort to determine why these accidents occurred, and most importantly, to ensure that no similar accident like these occurs again. Thank you. We'll be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.